Is anyone else still
desperate to know what monster needs to have its still beating heart in a handle and a brain?
Oh, honestly, it's living rent-free.
Hello, my fellow hunters. Are you ready to get excited? I mean, more excited? I assume we're all just living in a permanent state of at least a base level of excitement, given that this is a Wilds world we exist in. You know, life got just a lot better post last December, as everything since then is a world where Wilds is a thing that exists, and I just think that's nice. You know, that's important to remember. That's a good thing for all of us. But what else is a good thing for all of us is that very soon we'll know more. What more? More new monsters, flagship, release dates, a demo we can all play? Who knows? Well, Capcom knows, but I will try and divine what they knows today. But first and foremost, what the hell am I talking about? Well, Tokyo Game Show 2024. And yes, I should interject early at this point that since making this whole video, as I said in the last video where I talked about what I'm now about to talk about again, we do know that we are about to get some Scarlet Forest gameplay for the very first time, something which we actually talked about with Capcom community managers Jono and Joe, so go check that out, that podcast, it's linked down below, and it's just, it's fantastic. But yes, that's going to be very exciting. Hopefully Lala, Barina, hopefully some other new monsters, perhaps based on a reveal that happens before that we'll talk about in the rest of everything I'm about to talk about. But basically, there is a lot of exciting things, and this existing really lends a lot of support to a lot of things I'm about to theory on through the rest of this, because there really is 3 big questions to answer, and that's what I want to try and answer. So without further ado, I can't believe I'm having to interject into my interjection. Seriously guys, I made this video so long ago, and since then we've had the Scarlet Forest gameplay coming up confirmed, and then I don't know, the entire next actual trailer with the flagship arkveld and the release date at the end of February happened before it could go. You know, this video, right, with the Scarlet Forest interjection that you just heard, was going to go live an hour after the state of play happened. I was that convinced no random wilds would pop up. So it's like, what do I do at this point? I still want people to see this video, but now when you get to the back half of this video, you're gonna hear me predicting when I think they will reveal the flagship and when I think they will reveal the release date, which has obviously happened now. And look, the big part of this discussion was if we are going to get something proper at Tokyo Game Show. And we kind of know that we are now, so a lot of that hypothesis has kind of been rendered moot, but I don't just want to waste this. I figured it might still be interesting for you guys to hear my thought process, and yeah, I was a little bit off, but there's some curious tidbits to take away, and yeah, Capcom have confirmed that we should be paying attention to the Capcom show that's happening, well, hours now after you hear me say this, so you can be on the lookout for a very instant reaction from me, depending on what actually is revealed, but at the very least, yeah, I've had a roller coaster with this one, I really, really have. So, at this point, more just to mark that it happened, I hope you enjoy the rest of what I was thinking and theorying, over a week ago at this point, as we head into, hopefully, even more juicy Monster Hunter Wilds reveals. It'll be starting on Thursday, and as you can see, as expected, there's going to be a big Capcom presence there. First and foremost, it'll be playable, Wilds, but it'll be, at least 99.9% sure, the same demo that was at Gamescom, which was the first time Wilds was playable in Europe, and was at PAX, which was the first time it was playable in America, and now it'll be the first time it's playable in Japan at TGS, which I think actually is quite ridiculous, because of course Monster Hunter started as a niche Japanese game that had a little cult following in the West, but it really was only hugely popular over there. And now we've reached such a global point thanks to World that not only has the rest of the world got a chance to play it before literally Japan, we now have this kind of awkwardness where Tokyo Game Show used to be the place for Monster Hunter reveals, whereas now it's kind of not global enough because it's mostly local again to Japan. Of course, everyone will tune in. It does have a big global audience than it ever has, but it's not like a true global gaming event like Gamescom, like the Game Awards, and that's really interesting. But that said, we still should be getting something wildsy there. And the main reason for that is this, the Capcom Online program. Stay tuned for news on Capcom's latest titles. And as we can see, one of those titles is Wilds. So that literal phrasing, stay tuned for news on them, implies, news on them, which is something new. It's not just, hey, Wilds will be at Tokyo Game Show, you can play it like you could at Gamescom and PAX, that's all there is, cool, no new trailers or anything like that. We've got to wait for later on into the year, maybe all the way to the Game Awards, who knows, cool, we'll see you later. No, this is going to be a definitive, specific Capcom Online program where we will get news on their games, and one of those games is named as Wilds. Which means, yeah, a new Monster Hunter Wilds trailer is the likely result of that, and what's in that trailer, that is the big question mark. That is the interesting to think about. Mainly because of two things. Number one, unlike other Monster Hunter games, the Wilds news cycle is very different. It's extended, the trailers we have been getting are lighter, they're not as all-revealy, they're sort of drip-feeding cool stuff each time, and two, the aforementioned Tokyo Game Show not being, a true proper big event that everyone around the world is going to be watching. I mean, obviously every Monster Hunter fan around the world is going to be watching, so you can't do something crazy unless you can. And what would be crazy? Well, to me, I think the biggest reasonable reveal we could hope for is actually the release date. Why do I think that? Well, from the completely enthralling, exhilarating, entertaining shareholders meeting I read and I did a little recap for you guys a while back now on the Monster Hunter relevant stuff, we know that they plan to have a large bump in sales before the end of this fiscal year, which is April. The only way that's going to happen with the numbers they're talking is if it's Monster Hunter Wilds, where it will go crazy. So if we know, or at least find it very likely to reasonably assume that Wilds is going to come out before the end of April 2025, then getting a release date now is kind of nice, because it gives that definitive bit of space, right? Like 3-4 months, we get the release date in September, then we just got October, November, December, maybe it's in February, so January, 4 months of real focus on more trailers and reveals leading into a potential February release date. Whereas if we save the release date all the way to something like the Game Awards in December, yes, I have no doubt we will get a new Wilds trailer in some form then, of course we will, but if the release date is saved till then, and it's going to come out before April, that's a really short amount of time between release date and launch. Now, they might want that, of course, and that's entirely possible, but I do think it's not exactly an insane call to make that the release date might be coming our way very, very soon. Past that, though, it does get a little bit trickier. I don't think we're in line for a here, just download it and play public demo until much closer, like a month before. I think that'll wait, so I don't see that happening. Could be wrong, but I do think it's too early for that, and I think you would want to announce, hey, go download the demo, it's out right now, at a bigger event like the Game Awards. In fact, I think the Game Awards might be a perfect one for that. So then we just have, okay, maybe it is just Wilds trailer 4, another little tease of a couple little monsters, maybe a bit more of the Scarlet Forest, nothing revolutionary, mind-blowing, just a little bit more Wilds, because obviously the game is massive. Everything we've seen so far and everything we played at Gamescom, the game is massive. And there is going to be so many things they can slowly share. It wouldn't surprise me if there's going to be like 30 to 50 monsters in base Wilds now they've had time to really get to grips with the engine and build it up from world. On top of 4 or 5 locales? Probably. So that's a lot of things we can be slowly shown, but isn't anything, completely surprising that we couldn't predict because it's new in Wilds. So what I would say, what I would like to see, what I think is likely, is a returning monster finally. Obviously we got a little bit of Rathalos, obviously we got congalala, if indeed it is congalala, it's congalala, come on now. So confirming that he's in the Scarlet Forest, that's the natural follow-up to Lala Barina and the introduction of the Scarlet Forest, so I can totally see congalala getting his official, yeah it's congalala, in this online program trailer. And then beyond that, I think another returning monster might be nice. A little bit of a returning focus, because it's all kind of just been new, which is the best, don't get me wrong. I would love a monster game that's just, here's 50 new monsters, but that's not exactly reasonable dev-wise. So I do think addressing that, are returnings properly happening, might be nice here. I don't think we'll get another map, I think we might get a little bit of a deeper look into the Scarlet Forest, and then the other big question mark, is flagship. Are we finally going to get the flagship? Ryozo spoke about it. He said that no, Raidal's not the flagship is something else, and, really kind of hyped it up like the flagship's going to be a big deal this time around, bigger than normal. So that feels like a major reveal that needs like a major event, and essentially we have 3 major reveals left, at least to my mind. The release date, the demo is now playable for everyone, and the flagship. So I think they're going to be 3 different trailers spread across between now and the release of the actual game. So given that I think the release date is the most likely one coming up, I think flagship might be delayed, though it could happen at the same time. I don't think it's exactly a bad time for the flagship after everything that's happened with Gamescom and PAX and such, but they might want to get through all of the, gaming events where the demo is playable across various parts of the world before they do any other, major reveals, and we do just get, as I say, a bit more Scarlet Forest, a couple returning monsters, a tease of a new one, maybe a new character, a little bit of story, but nothing earth-shattering revelatory. And then, of course, there is, hey, we still know of 2 monsters that haven't been revealed yet, but we know they exist, and we know what they kind of like and their aesthetic from their armor and weapons. The switch axe and the hammer. These 2 armor sets clearly belong to 2 new monsters, and we've not had them revealed. We got Lala Barina revealed, which was a previously teased armor set and thus monster confirmed before the actual reveal, so I could 100% buy, in fact I think it's one of the most likely things to predict, that the next trailer gives us the monster that belongs to either the hammer or the switch axe armor set, and that's really, really cool. But in any case, this, more than anything, is a, hey, heads up, we've got new reveals coming very soon, this is what I think might happen, and, well, let's all give it our full attention. Not that you need me to tell you to do that. For now then, let me know what your predictions are for our next trailer, and when you'd like to see release date, demo, and flagship, and, well, until next time being when I break down everything that does get revealed endlessly for you guys. Oh my god, I love it. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more, consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.